Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to What Do You Say Anime. I am your host, Peter. On today's episode, we'll be trying out a group version of our 8 for 8 QA episode. 8 total questions will be asked with a time limit of 8 minutes per question. The kicker is that we only know the questions we came prepared with, and we will have to come up with answers on the spot from the other participants. Questions will be mostly anime themed, but the possibility of something out of left field is definite possibility. Who knows, maybe I can top my all-time worst answer of defeating a boar with my bare hands this episode. If you are interested in the format from our previous episode, the link to that episode will be found in the description below. As I stated before, this is a group episode, 4 people with 2 questions apiece. Join me today, first, the moderators of the 22nd most popular anime podcast in Turkey, according to some random website that tracks those things. We have Miles and Pat. Gentlemen, how are we doing this fine evening?
We're doing great. I'm really, I have a post-it note and it says hit 21. And that's my goal. I want to be the 21st most popular anime podcast in Turkey.
There's 22 anime podcasts in the world. Is there really that many of them?
There's a ton.
Exist? Wow. Well, we're doing pretty good then, I guess.
Weeks were like 143.
Not even kidding you. Last week we were 69.
Nice. What did we watch? Is it something that could have been popular in Turkey? Oh, there you go. So, yeah, like David's Turkish, isn't he, or something? I don't know. Yeah, let's make it make sense.
The Rodriguez heritage of Turkey, yes.
Yes, exactly. Oh well, he's a very.
His last name's Martinez.
Martinez, my bad.
Everyone's racist.
Cancel Pete.
Yo, edit this. Well, that
edit
other
this
voice,
like mariachi music over or something.
And the other voice that you are hearing is our other participant for today's episode, the host of the Manga Melee podcast. We have first name Jay, last name Factor. Jay, how's it going today?
I actually have a board above me that I have. It used to say "Remember, you're here forever," but now it says "Do it for her," and it's actually a collage of the whole of Latin America because that's who the Manga Melee podcast is catering to. Read Dragon Ball Super, I guess.
Yeah. Glad to hear. Well, gentlemen, let's get started with our first question. Miles, you have the honors of going first.
Okay. So in this question, you guys have died, okay? Death comes to transfer you to whatever lies beyond our mortal coil, but he has a lot of paperwork to do. So he has you sit in a waiting room, and he says, "Don't worry, I got you. I have here a selection of every single anime on your plan to watch list. You can watch one before I bring you on. What's the last anime you watch?"
Okay. That is a tough question.
I was really excited about it.
Does it have to be physically on my watch list, or could it be one that I was planning to watch I haven't added yet?
Yeah, as long as you haven't seen the anime.
Okay, I've seen parts of this one, but definitely not all of it. I'm gonna go with the Pokemon anime, actually, because that's something I've wanted to watch through, and it's long as fuck.
Yeah, however, okay, that gives you lots of time.
Do not let this confuse anybody. I do yearn for the sweet release of death.
Man, I have 2 that comes to mind, both classics, both highly rated in their own ways. Do I want to go out laughing, or do I want to go out kind of like something serious that's like considered like an all-time classic? I think I'm gonna go with JoJo's, just because if I want to be a cultured weeb, I feel like I need to have that in my repertoire. I've never watched JoJo's. I've read part 1, and that's all I've gotten with JoJo. So I think I'm gonna go with JoJo's.
Okay, out of curiosity, what was the other option?
I think it might be, I don't want to steal Pat's thunder, but it's Legends of the Galactic Heroes.
Yeah.
That was my first thought too, unironically.
I was gonna make that the joke, but then I realized it's already in my watching list because I watched like 4 minutes of the first episode, so I marked it down. So that's technically not allowed to be answered because it's in my watching, not my plan to watch. But yeah, that would be my answer if it wasn't, though, because, God damn it, either everyone has lied to me that's said it's like, one of the best pieces of fiction ever, or it is, and it's also really long. Other than that, on my plan to watch list, there's not a lot of really long shows. There's a lot of like 2 core shows, but Prince of Tennis maybe has 200 episodes apparently, so maybe that would be a good one to watch to really let life drag on. I have a question. Can it be something that hasn't aired yet?
Yeah, death is magic.
Sure. All right.
Birdie Wings season 2. Me too.
Yeah, and no, I was thinking either that or then I mean, well, so if I've died today, then I'd at least want to see how Kenshin gets like completely butchered by this new studio, right? Like I don't know, like do I want to be sad or do I want to finish? Do I want to see the new Bunny Girl Senpai by the before then? Like I don't know. There's a lot of fun answers here, I think. Are
Did
we
we get a
allowed to ask
confirmed
you
season 2?
for what?
Bunny Girl Senpai?
Yes, we
Yeah,
did.
we did. We did. It's a couple weeks ago. So
Oh,
yeah.
we eating.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
eating good.
Yeah, okay.
That's a good point, though. If like something that hasn't been made yet, I would want to actually change my answer if I could.
Yeah.
It's actually behind me. I would want to watch Vagabond if it was an anime. I think that how it's portrayed. I think the manga.
That's not even so magic that he can bring a Vagabond adaptation.
Hey, the mangaka is currently directing the Slam Dunk movie, which he also wrote.
Okay.
So I feel like if he wanted to, he could just be like, I'm gonna direct Vagabond because like I can do whatever I want right now. So I kind of get those vibes. I think I'll change my answer to Vagabond. Sorry, Jay.
That's okay.
Now that we've torn apart
Yeah,
this question,
Now that we've cheated a bunch.
yes, it's cheated. Can I go with Spy Family just to the end because it's gonna definitely get animated through the entirety of the story. It's popular enough. I think Spy Family. That would be a great way to end because it would be like there's no way, right? There is no way that this author screws up the most obvious and easy ending of all time. That's set up right with with Lloyd eventually. Or you're essentially being assigned to kill Lloyd, and then them living happily ever after whatever hijinks happen. Like that is the obvious setup there, and I think that would be a great way. And the way it gets there would be fantastic. I think that's the obvious answer here now. Now that we've put
So we've all changed our, except for Jay, I guess, changed our answer
Yeah,
to.
Jay's a real one.
Man of principles.
I love it.
I'm watching Pokemon.
Good choice. Got to catch them all, right?
Yeah. Also, yeah, you know what? In the spirit of that, I am also going to watch Pokemon until it ends in the real world, which is to say, I will never actually die.
I will never die. Yeah, okay. That's so interesting. I do like the drag out your life as long as possible angle. However, I'd rather die than watch that much anime in a row. So
Miles, did you have an answer for your own question?
No, I didn't. I don't have to answer my own question,
You
right?
don't have to, but we have time,
okay.
so
Thinking about it, oh god, it's tough. Out of stuff that I know exists or will exist, God, I might, legit might just do Birdie Wing season 2 to find out if they're gay or not, and so I can either die really happy or super salty, which are the two ways I can see myself going out. So I think it just gives me, my proper ending either way.
Love it. All right, Jay, we can move on to your question.
All right, gentlemen. The year is 2002. You've been transported back and have been put in charge of a prospective, we'll say, adaptation of a show from the future that you have brought back with you. However, you are given a shoestring budget, so we're going for a poor quality, think about early One Piece type vibes, like that kind of shot, like shoestring budget to get it across. Basically, what are you adapting with your shoestring budget in 2002? And for bonus points, what studio are you using for it? It doesn't have to be something good. You could also give something you don't like a bad adaptation to forever alter how it's viewed in history, by the way.
So for clarification, we're taking a show that's airing now or whatever in the recent era, bringing it back to 2002.
A modern show, and then giving it a bad, not bad adaptation, a low budget adaptation from 2002 or around that area.
Rurouni Kenshin.
I think something that would work with a really bad budget but still be enjoyable would be something comedy related. So I think I'm going to go with something like Pop Team Epic. I feel like you could make gag style comedy with a very low budget, and as long as the punchlines are there, you'd still make you laugh. And yeah, I mean Pop Team Epic is just wild in general itself, so I think that would work with you could kind of play it off as a gag with how bad the budget is or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Pop Team Epic.
Huh. Well, again, I give the troll answer of Kenshin because it's being adapted now, and it was adapted back then with a shoestring budget, which is why it got axed. I don't know. Yeah, like I like your point about the comedy, Pete. Like that would be a good way to do it. But like, also imagine in another world with your smartphone or something like that being adapted back in
Ooh.
2002, because that would be fun to see how people
That's
would
really
react.
smart, actually.
Like, oh my god, look, they have this magical device in their hands that like is more powerful than a freaking supercomputer. Like, oh my god, like what bullshit is this? Like, there's no way that that could actually happen in real life. And then it's like, 10 years later, you're like clairvoyant, and who knows?
I love
I don't
that
know.
answer.
Um, other than that, I don't know because it's really hard because like a lot of the shows I don't like already are usually ones with poor budgets. So I don't think I'd maybe Attack on Titan would be the cheap answer too.
Oh, that would be bad.
Because it would look even worse. The maybe the horses would look better, but everything else would look worse because they
The
didn't.
three
didn't
the 3D maneuvering gear scenes would just look so fucking bad.
yeah.
Some guy just putting a slide
Yeah.
across.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll wrap me up. Miles, it's your turn.
Okay, yeah. So I'll give a hater answer, right? Like that's my role. I'm like trying to be a hater. So like my first thought, right, was like I don't know, like Bunny Girl Senpai or something. But I don't think that's a show that would suffer from like a low budget that hard.
It would just
So
be Bakemonogatari again.
it would. Well, okay. Sorry, I need.
You said
I just
sorry.
the audacity of some people. um, so my thought is like no game, no life, maybe because you probably get like less of a fun color palette and like less good animation and everything. If you adapt that back then, and the only reason people actually like that show is because of the visuals, and they just lie to themselves about the rest of that. So like I would be saving a bunch of people that sort of strife, and I wouldn't have to hear when the godforsaken show's getting a season 2 anymore because it doesn't deserve one. So that would probably be my pick from like a hater perspective. I'm trying to think if there's anything from like a not hater perspective that I'd want. I don't know enough anime studios to answer this question for you, Jay. I apologize, but just imagine a bad one. I pick a bad one.
Yeah.
I
just love I love the timeline that instead of SAO causing the isekai boom, it's because Pat went back in time and now we have like 9 different versions of In Another World with my smartphone.
Can I pick anything, Jay?
Yeah.
I pick Worm.
Okay.
Just anything. I don't care if it's fucking cheap. I just want something. I want to watch something. So I'll pick Worm.
Can you explain what Worm is to the fans?
Yeah, so Worm is a web serial by Wildbow, aka J.C. McCrae. It is a superhero story about a girl named Taylor Hebert who has the ability to control bugs with her mind, and it has like the world building is just 11 out of 10. The power system is like 11 out of 10. It's got a lot of really interesting characters. And I think that even with that shoestring budget, because it's sort of built on some superhero, like, I don't know, like shifted ways that like people have viewed superheroes like over time, that if we get in before things like the Watchmen adaptation and shit, that it would blow people's minds, even like because they hadn't even like more than it already would, even with like the cheap budget, if you had to like skimp out on some fight scenes or whatever.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
To go back, I was trying to think of like a studio, and I can only think of like 2 studios that are around today that were around in like 2002. So I'm just gonna go with like Sunrise or Toei, like because I don't know who else existed back then.
That's fair.
I have a question for Worm. Why is it not called Bug then? Like, what's the?
That's a spoiler.
Well,
Yeah.
That'll be that'll be one of my questions later.
Okay. Okay. I'll have to answer it. So
Yes,
Jay and
and
I
you
can
will
talk
have to
about it.
answer it. There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
To answer my own question, I had two choices off the top of my head that I think would work pretty well, so I'm just gonna share both of them. I think Sunny Boy could do well with
Oh,
the
I like
really
that.
dark palette that old school animes used to have.
Oh, yeah, like a Lane style, maybe, Sonny Boy?
Yeah, or something like Yu Yu Hakusho, like how they
Mhm.
use really vivid colors, like how you'll have scenes where like it's monochromatic, but in like red or something like that. I also think Odd Taxi could have done really well as long as you keep
Oh.
like the voice acting talent solid. That's a show that doesn't really need to be carried by animation at all. It just has like the backgrounds just have to look nice, which old animes have backgrounds on lock. And you just have to, like I said, you just have to keep the writing and the voice acting good for that. So I think that that would probably be like a pretty perfect fit for that sort of thing. And
Love that
people would have loved
answer.
it back then too. And that wraps it up for my question.
Yeah. All right. On to my question. Gentlemen, in this scenario, each anime franchise is represented as a country. Which country are you on the front lines defending, and which country are you invading?
Oof.
Okay. So wait. So I am. Does that mean like okay? I'm the like I would defend the United States because it's my country, right? So does that mean in this analogy
It's
then
like
the United
who do you
States?
stand for? Who do you stand for
Okay,
basically?
so we're not just where it's not. Well, I was gonna say because like if I
Yeah, it's not like you need to be like Bakano because it's United Statesy. It's like
Yeah,
you pick,
yeah.
right,
like,
okay, it's
what's
just
your
pick.
ride or
Okay,
die
It's in your heart.
anime?
It's in your
gotcha.
heart.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, because I was like, well, the
You
United
have
States
the
would probably
anime
be a really
tattooed to your forearm.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. There you go. You got a couple of those in there somewhere. Um, no, okay, that makes it make more sense. Because I was gonna say, because like the U.S. would probably be like Attack on Titan or Naruto or something,
Attack on
like
Titan's Germany. Come
big.
on, bro.
Well, you know what I mean though,
Yeah,
like popularity wise
for
and
sure.
size and importance or relevance, whatever, you know, Nazis, whatever you want to say, like
it's multifaceted.
we are we are a multifaceted country, baby. Yeah, no. I guess I would really defend SIO. I think Sword Art Online would be my defense, just because I think that show gets so much shit for no reason at all. Not no reason. It has a very specific errors, but I also think that it's fun or it's popular to hate on SAO, so that's why people will just like say the usual buzzwords and it's like, well, no, if you read the story or if you paid attention, Kirito really isn't that bland of a bitch protagonist, like if you actually gave it some thought, it might change your mind, no big deal. And then the country I'm going to war with, um, I'll die on this hill. Fucking any idol anime, Love Live. I will go to
Zombieland
war.
Saga.
You guys are getting shat on by Love Live.
No, we're not. We are destroying them. What army? Like a bunch of basement dwellers. I say
Yeah,
in my
but they have
basement.
but
Um,
they got money. They're like the I don't
They have to
know.
buy merch.
I'm not gonna compare. I'm not gonna compare them to any country. I could get messy real quick.
that's why I stopped myself too, because it's like really, Pete. This is a really hard question, because like like yeah, like Attack on Titan would probably be like Germany, right? Like that's kind of messy, or Turkey. We don't want to upset our Turkish audience,
Shout out to
like.
Turkey.
Yeah, shit. Okay, never mind. I'll stop. I won't make that joke because shout out Turkey. But yeah, so I guess SAO would be my defense, and then I would go on the offense against Love Live,
Love it.
idol culture, whatever.
Oh, it's me. Okay. This is hard for me because, like, as I just mentioned in the last question, I have to like war on at least two fronts on this. I feel like,
Miles
Are you
joining
making
in.
a World War II joke? Is that what's
yeah,
happening here? Okay.
yeah. um, but it's just like if I had to pick one anime to invade, before I know what I'm defending and riding into battle with, I know what I'm invading. I think the thing that I'm invading most is Bunny Girl Senpai.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Knew this was coming. God damn it.
First off, that movie is fucking terrible. It is an awful movie. Second off, the series is not that good, and it's just a horrible, ungodly abomination of Haruhi Suzumiya in the Monogatari series.
Eat.
Yeah, but do you have like bunny girl figures in Christmas cosplay? Because we do, and you
Wait,
don't.
where's my
Well, who's
bunny?
we?
Yeah, I could get a Haruhi bunny girl figure.
Oh,
I'm
shit,
sure
you're right.
Monogatari has a bunny girl.
Yeah,
in
I'm
there
positive
somewhere.
they do too, and it's probably the worst, honestly. But
It is probably the worst. Yeah.
So the real question is, what am I going into battle with? What do I stan really hard? You know what? I think the stan is. I think it's probably Haruhi Suzumiya.
Wow.
So I think I'm going into battle with Haruhi, which I have given every season of a 10, including the second season, which includes the same episode 8 times in a row. And I'm going to go into battle against Bunny Girl Senpai.
I love it.
That's the plan.
Damn.
Oh,
Choosing
also,
my-
side of Haiku. After I'm done, I'm fucking invading Haiku. Fuck you, Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aw, Dad. I think this is a tough choice for who I want to like. I'm trying to see. For me, it's more of thinking of who my allies are going to be. I think that I'm gonna go fight with the JoJo's people, just because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of creatine involved in posing.
Ooh.
I think we have kind of like a Maori thing going on where we meet on the battlefield and then we do like elaborate poses, and that will scare a lot of the enemies off first before we like break their charge or whatever with our cavalry. As for who I'm gonna fight, damn, it's tough because I really want to. All the people I want to swing at are also. It's like it would end in like mutually assured destruction for all the people I want to swing at.
Because if you swing at one of them, then they'll swing at another person, and then it'll come back in full circle. And
It's a real
yeah.
if you give a mouse a cookie situation. You know what? Fuck it. We're just taking a swing at some young bloods. I'm fighting the Chainsaw Man.
Love it.
Nation.
That was my backup. Oh,
You got I'm smothering this in the crib.
I want to say fantastic answers from everybody. That was super fun. For me, I was going to pick Berserk, but since I said that this is anime only, I'm going to switch up my answer a little bit. Just because of recent events, I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to be on the front lines with the Evangelion fans. I think that would be really fun because that's just a good time. And I'm definitely going to war with AOT. I picked it based off of my least favorite fandom, and AOT is number 1 with a bullet, so let's just get rid of him while we're at it. So those are my 2 answers.
You'll have the Church of Trent on your side in the with the Evangelion pick.
And the Holy
so
Wars.
I like
I don't know if I
Yes.
can support a crusade.
I can. You'll
Support this one.
as long as the god who sent the angels in Evangelion is Haruhi, we can have some sort of alliance.
Yo, you want to team up?
Let's do it.
What are your
Yo,
thoughts on the
the-
AOT fandom?
The
I-
Joe Bros are gonna be Switzerland.
No.
Make it a Catholic crusade, and I'm in. There you go.
Yeah, this is becoming more like World War One.
Yeah.
It is
yes,
closer to
it's-
World War One.
JoJo's definitely Iceland. They're just filled with just like Nordic, big, strong men.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly 8 minutes. Pat, you are up.
All right, yeah. So I did think of the correct kind of questions for this. I'm glad, so I didn't have to come up with them on the spot. This is a good one. So, and it's good for this cast too because we are all familiar with Ruby now. So knowing Ruby and the world that they are from, the remnant. Thank you, Pat. What semblance would you choose to have if you were in the Ruby universe? What semblance? So the Ruby's semblance, as an example, is super speed, and also she turns into roses as she travels. Like she can move from one place to another very fast. Weiss's is her ability to use those glyphs. Blake's is like the shadow clone jutsu, basically, from Naruto, where things
Just
take
any
hits for her.
power, basically.
Yeah,
Just
it's sort of superpowers, but like most Ruby semblances are somewhat based in like a real like an enhancement rather than just like literally like telekinesis or something, so to speak. It's not like, oh, I'm 11 from Stranger Things where I can just like, zap you with my head or something. Like, no, it's usually like there's some sort of give and then take as well with them. So I guess Miles would be the first one to go here, I think.
Okay. That's
This is
tough.
hard. It's a hard question because it's
Yeah,
like, I,
it's very there's a lot to do. So let's see. So I think that what I would like to do, I think, is like Ruby is like storybook themed, right? Like fairy tale.
fairy tales,
Um,
mythology, all sorts of things theme the characters or the people. Ruby Rose, like Little Red Riding Hood. But then there's Sun Wukong, who's a mythical person. John is supposed to be John of Arc from
okay.
actual history. Like there's a lot of different uh, ways to tie it in, but you don't have to do that. That'd be asking a lot in less than 8 minutes.
Okay. I mean, I guess like my thought would be like like those like mages or whatever who like use a book and it like the magic like comes from the book in some way. I think that would seem cool in like a Ruby style universe. So I might pick some ability to like manifest things from stories that I'm reading or something in like an illusionary aspect. That seems neat. I'm gonna go with that
Yeah,
because it seems fun.
there you go. That's a little similar to a semblance that exists in the world, but not entirely.
Okay.
She takes photographs of things and then is able to use them.
Ah, the
Essentially.
Nickelback power.
Ah.
Yeah, no, sort of. Yeah, she uses the photo and then she essentially learns the skill but she can only do it once. Is like the
Ooh,
catch for her.
okay.
It's a pretty cool character. You should watch Ruby, by the way, Miles. All right, Jay, what about you?
ooh, let's see. That is a tough one. What would I want to do? I think I would give myself the ability to turn my eyes red, and whenever I do that, I'm able to utilize all types of semblances to 100% efficiency. I'm making a Hunter x Hunter joke here because it sounds like these sound like nin abilities, but I don't know. I would probably do something similar to that OC character that got introduced in Ice Queendom. I
Mm,
like the like nightmare dream catcher type deal. I thought that was pretty sick, even though it's a little bit different from most of the abilities in that world, I would say. Like you can tell it was designed by somebody who came in and designed a character, if that makes sense from how
yeah,
different it is.
because like there's not really like how does their semblance work without their weapon?
Yeah,
And their
yeah.
semblance without their weapon is essentially what Lee Ren's semblance is, which is like the ability to like sense emotions or feelings
hmm
of other people and like read them from that. So that's yeah. But either way, again, that I like that answer too though, because that
Well,
that was a very cool character that got added.
I th- I think what I would want to do, man, I
It's a
always
hard
like
question.
it is a hard question. I always like the summoning type abilities,
Hmm.
but I think, hmm, I think I think it would be cool to have an ability based on like learning or something like. No, you know what I would do? Okay. I would take mine. I would just go simple with it. I would just take my ability from King Midas and have the ability to turn shit into like
Into
not
gold.
not necessarily maybe not gold, but just like maybe different elements since it's gold and just expand from there.
That would
Like
work.
I
I
could
think
turn it
that's a realistic semblance. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think that would be sick. The ability to turn metals or basically like an alchemist ability almost,
Yeah.
but based on King Midas.
I like that. That's actually again like that's like something I could totally see existing in the Ruby universe too. Like unironically, I could see them writing that into the story somehow. Pete, what
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah. So my favorite in terms of like powered people or whatever in like any form of media is I love the idea of time as a power. And so I would like kind of use like a father time type of thing and like the be able to like reverse things kind of like Doctor Strange a little bit, but like a caveat would be like the amount of time I go back is like the amount of time I lose off my life type of thing. So like I'd be OP, but at the same time I have like this thing where if I keep using my powers, I like essentially kill myself. So I like the idea of something like time related. And if you ever seen Black Clover, Wizard King Julius, his power is time, and I just love the idea of that. So something time related would be, I think, super baller.
Yeah, and in the world of RWBY, there's a character who basically her name is TikTok Croc or something like that, where she basically has 60 seconds where she's like super OP and like moves really fast, really strong, everything.
Yeah.
And then after that timer goes up, she kind of like just loses it. You know, she gets nerfed essentially back
Yeah.
to
Or
back
something
to
like
square one.
I said for Jay, I think it's something like Reg from Made in Abyss, where like he can go like psycho mode for like 5 minutes, and then he passes out for 2 hours. Something along the lines of that, but with time.
Yeah, that sounds similar to Hikari and Jujutsu Kaisen, but his is based on like gotcha games where if he hits a jackpot, he gets like basically completely overpowered for like 2 minutes while some music plays. Like he auto heals any damage, including like if you like blow his arm off or something, it just heals back. Shit like that. But then he goes back to normal and has to roll for it again after the music ends.
I
and
love
stuff.
that.
Yeah, it's really sick. A lot of people don't like it because they had to explain like pachinko in the magazine whenever they did it because it's based on pachinko. But yeah, and yeah, Pete on his forever quest to just main Zillion in real life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's my favorite league champion. Like, I have like 1,000 games on him. I love that. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Should I guess
Yeah,
I
you got
can-
time. Go ahead with yours.
I didn't really think about this question at all either, to be honest. I want something probably to do with like stealth or something. Again, I'm trying to like come up with something too that doesn't exist or isn't even close to what exists in the RWBY universe. Maybe something like shadow cloney, like not shadow clone. Whatever the shadow jutsu was that Shikamaru uses in Naruto, like
Yeah.
either that would be something cool where you can like manipulate other people, or to go stick with shadows, you know, maybe a stealth ability where you can kind of like blend in with your surroundings really well. Maybe not a chameleon level stuff, but like I don't know, if there's a shadow, you can step into the shadow, and
Yeah.
then wherever that shadow touches, you can step out of, or something along those lines. I think that would be a really cool ability.
In JJK, they have one of the main characters is based around shadows, and one of his abilities he gets later on is he can like sink into them. So it's like he can swim in shadows more or less.
Yeah, that would be cool. Cool ability, I think.
And he can store things in them too, which I think would kind of go if you can step in them. I think it kind of goes hand in hand. You'd be able to like put weapons into them and hide them or something like that too. Another way you can use it if you have
yeah,
that.
there you go. I like that. So yeah, I guess that wraps up our RWBY questions in
Yep.
time.
Great question, Pat. Miles, you're up next with your second question.
Yes. Okay. So, God, all these questions involve y'all dying. I apologize for that. So, you get isekai'd in this question, but instead of getting a cool power or anything, you get to sort of have control over the world you go to. So, what seemingly mundane skill do you pick for everyone in the world you go to suck at to make you as good as possible?
Oh, this is an easy one because in the world that I'm choosing here, this is a mundane skill in this world. I'm gonna go to the world of Pokemon and make everyone else really fucking bad at Pokemon battling.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
So you're going into the video game.
Yeah, basically. No,
Yeah.
that's literally
Hey.
yeah.
I guess I would try to do something to maybe make me rich. So I would say everybody is bad at math, and then I could be like the accountant for like the government or something like that, and then I could kind of like, I don't know.
Realist hero.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, don't go there, bro.
Yeah, and then
that's
like,
what you're doing.
No, minus the slavery. I don't want that in my world.
There would be some slavery going on that you couldn't control, I'm sure.
Some indirect slavery.
What if I could
maybe.
like manipulate the books for like the
I
slave owners, and then
I would make everyone really bad at owning slaves.
yeah, but through the power of math. Yeah. I guess that would just be something that I would like, since I kind of do like math shit with my job anyway. So it's just like let's take a skill that I'm good at and then try to make money with it and have everyone else be
Okay.
kind of bad with it, and then I can be rich.
Now, the flip side of that, Pete, math is very important for lots of things. So, if you are the only person who's good at math, are
Don't
you
ever walk on a bridge.
I mean, are you concerned about like the
Damn.
engineering and like?
Is this worse than my Bohr answer?
It's like you go to your pharmacist, they're like, "This is probably enough." Just like,
How many milligrams is it? 1,000? Sure.
yeah.
Okay. Redacted. I feel like math is probably a bad answer. Man, okay. How about something silly like sports, and I could just be like the best person at playing basketball or something like that. And
Yeah,
that
that
way.
seems like a good one.
yeah, that way
Yeah.
bridges work.
It's not like
Rehashing my
necessary.
Pokemon answer, but okay.
Hey, I'm sorry. It's one of those. The whole point of this is like put on the spot. I was trying to think of something that would make me money, and then Miles is like, "Hey, I'm gonna use my brain and be logical," and I'm like,
Yes.
and I was just like, "Oh yeah, guess what? Yeah, a bunch of people would probably die because bridges would collapse and buildings would collapse, and yeah, money
Yeah.
would be I don't know inflated to a gazillion. Who knows? Yeah,
He's gonna go live in like Zimbabwe.
yeah.
He just drives himself insane being the only person who understands basic concepts of math.
In
Just
another
like,
world in Zimbabwe or something like that.
people
yeah.
just like give you the wrong amount of change all the time. It's like,
Okay.
Okay, I realize I fucked up. Okay. And I had to steal Jay's answer because I'm stupid. Are you happy, Miles?
I am, thank you.
Giga Chad like joke answer. I'd go to the world of World's End harem, and I'd make all the other guys bad at being fertile. There you go.
Ooh.
Boom. There. I win. World's End harem. All mine. Blah blah blah. Something else. Yada yada.
Serious talk. There's nothing jokey about, or there's nothing mundane about being able to create life. All of
No.
our weapons is No Glove, No Love. Brought to you by the What Do You Say Anime podcast.
This is really hard. I like this. Maybe I would go to I'm flabbergasted again. Like the joke answer was there because it's like it's immediately what popped in my head because like you said, you took the Pokemon answer, which would be the sports answer to like I don't know what else do I enjoy in life other than sports, video games, sex, and I guess
Kind of laughed at that. I'm sorry.
no. Well, seriously though, what else is there to life other than sports, sex, media, and
Pokemon.
Pokemon? Yeah, seriously, like.
In the words of Lil Wayne, pussy, money, weed. That's the only three things you need.
Pokemon
true.
is implied in that one.
Yeah, it's money.
Maybe make everyone bad at music, so then I'm good at music. I don't know.
I mean, awesome, but then what do you have to listen to?
I'm myself. I love talking. I love listening to myself. Have you ever
Like-
fucking been on a podcast with me? I love talking.
You know, these beats are dope.
Oh God, what would your answer be, Miles? Let's put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, that's like, I mean, such ends my smugness. It's a hard question. I think I would do something like cooking because if you can cook for yourself, you're good, right? Like like people are responsible for the majority of their own meals, and then like if I'm the only one making like above whatever quality food, like if the other best people are just making like that average level food, but I can like make something that's good, then that could, get me some gains. And then I could also like, I
Some
feel like
pussy?
it's
Is that what you meant by that? Some pussy?
yeah, I
There you
did
go.
world's food harem. Uh,
There you go. Full circle.
I died and became a chef so good that I got my own harem.
No, you kind of spit with that one.
Coming in 2026.
Yeah, I should get to writing, I think. So that's mine. It's also like a relatively easily transferable skill. So that I can like teach people how to do it or whatever, and it's not like ungrokkable for them. So that's my thought.
All right, love it. Jay, what is your second question?
Okay. It's something we've all said to ourselves before, fellas. I can fix them. My question:
Oh no.
what problematic anime icon do you think that you could go back in time and stop them from becoming the horrible human being or whatever they are that they have become? Your go, gentlemen.
Ooh, that is a great question because I feel like I can't even do that in real life, so I don't know if I could do that in like another fantasy world.
Nah, you can totally fix her, Pete. Don't worry. Keep trying.
You also you have the knowledge of what their trauma is and what they're
Sure.
going to do is in this scenario, by the way. Like you have full knowledge of them essentially.
Okay, cool. Let's trigger Miles and Pat for this one. I'd go back. I'd help out Taiga with her family issues and make it so that she's not the violent tsundere slash yandere that she is, and give her the support that she needed when her parents weren't there. And
You do realize we see
Taiga
someone
from-
do that and it doesn't fix her.
For those listening, Taiga from what, by the way?
from Toradora. But
Okay,
I
yeah.
feel like if I could get to it early enough where she doesn't develop those like tendencies and habits, then she'd grow up to be just a nice girl who is genki and fun and love to be around. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Toradora and help out my girl Taiga.
I'm not
Yes.
triggered at all. I think that's a great answer. That's all I wanted from
Why
the
are your
series.
eyes bloodshot then?
Because I am me. I don't
Okay,
know.
you're not filled with rage. Okay,
He's
No.
incredibly stoned right now, actually.
Well, it sounds like you just basically took everything that made Taiga and got rid of it and changed it into a completely different character. That's what I'm
correct.
hearing.
Ship of Theseus paradox.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like you got rid of the things that identify her as Taiga. No, well, I thought the question was like, in general, what would you change? And I would have said, fucking, told Nobuhiro Watsuki just to put down the child
See,
porn.
I actually, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I did this question because I was
Thinking
going
of
to
me,
make
yeah.
that joke. I was like,
Yeah, so the author of Rurouni Kenshin kind of got caught doing some sketchy things, and I would make sure that
I
he
know.
just decided by kind of did and got arrested and slapped on the wrist for it. Yeah, I would discourage him from doing that and making it hard to be a fan of one of my favorite mediums of art, or pieces of art in this medium.
One of the
So I
most
think that
iconic anime of all time, or manga too. Like,
it would
period.
be, yeah, it would be up there, but it's kind of sad. But so I think that that would be my answer for now. I thinking of characters. I don't know. Like I usually like bad characters existing because it makes the good ones better. It doesn't bother me as much to see them. Maybe make Shinji a little less awful and make him like a better character in my eyes. Again, I know that's gonna get a lot of head shaking for everyone here, but I don't know if I were Shinji, I would have been just built different. I don't know, and
You're
just
David Rodriguez.
David, right? Oh, okay, yeah, the Turkish man, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
It's a callback to 30 minutes ago or whatever.
yeah, I know it's a good one, right? Yeah, no. I get frustrated by Shinji because a lot of the excuses that people make for him, I can kind of understand, but they're still why I don't view him as like heroic or as brave. I don't think he is brave, and I think that they could do that very easily too with different scenes that happen in the show. They could paint him that way. Maybe that's not the point.
How are you doing? So you're taking the child soldier and you're making him brave so he fights in the war more?
Well, making
Is
him
that
not be
okay?
making him not be a pussy. I don't know, like
Okay, not like
giving him a father figure, someone that he would be proud to represent. That look up to and have
okay. I
supervising him. Making it so it's not just Masato being there, like basically grooming him into uh service. Maybe giving him like actual guidance. I don't know. This is What would you do, Miles? Who
Okay.
would your character be?
I just need to say that is a psychotic answer, Pat.
Thank you. I know. Like
I would
kinda realized
brainwash
as
him
I
to
was-
be a better soldier.
It's
Yeah,
not, I
no.
mean, it's
I don't know. It frustrates the shit out of me.
not like I would fix Gendo so none of this happens. It would be like I'd make Senshi fight more.
I mean, would fixing Gendo really save anything? If anything, that would make.
Yes.
Again, I haven't seen End of Evangelion. Like, would that really stop the impacts from happening in the?
Yes,
first
he
place?
did them all.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's responsible for the impacts.
That's not even End of Evangelion. That's just an Evangelion.
I thought but isn't that part of his defense from the angels, though? Aren't they?
But he all the stuff he's doing to try to bring his wife back is what are causing the angels to come, because it's like this unholy, terrible thing.
Oh, that makes sense.
Anyways,
Yeah, no, fix Shinji.
Shinji? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. In
Shinji
that
the
case,
pussy.
I'm going to fix
He's
Violet so that
Oh.
she never becomes weak and learns what love is, and instead continues doing what she's best at, which is killing people. So I instead of what I would intervene and make sure that grooming piece of shit, the Major, never shows affection for her, and maybe that Admiral dude just keeps her instead so she can be useful and do something more than deliver letters with her life.
To mimic you, that is a psychotic answer.
Well, this was my retaliation. What I would actually
I love
do,
it, by the way.
Thank you. Is do we consider Seto Kaiba problematic?
Yeah, I feel like he has some tendencies that would be labeled as problematic.
Okay. Oh, this answer is psychotic though, because I was like, how do I make him not lose to Yugi? But that like started his entire redemption arc. But like, what if it didn't? You know, like, wouldn't that be cooler?
Yes.
You know, so just like let him know what's up, have him put some hand disruption in his deck. I'm trying to think of like a real answer. The issue that I'm having is that like all my favorite problematic characters, I think Pat mentioned this, I like because they're like kind of crazy. And I'm just like, oh, like he just like me for real. So, oh god. And I can't think of an answer that isn't like snarky either. Yeah, okay, going for like a more wholesome thing, maybe if I could get to that young kid from A Silent Voice like earlier, I could like stop that whole like bullying arc thing from happening. That could be nice.
That's a good answer.
Um
Don't do that shit.
Okay, I won't stop the bullying. Okay, I'll let that continue.
Some kids need to be bullied, right?
Yeah, well,
Like,
Shoko. Yeah, I agree, but Shoko is not one of them. She doesn't
Yeah,
need
no.
to be bullied. So
I
that
would
is
help.
so. I would turn Violet
For the
into a
viewers at home,
psychopath,
I
and
wasn't
then
talking about that. I don't want people to think that of me.
So those are my two answers: turn Violet into a psychopath and stop Shoko from being bullied.
I'll help Lily and Elfin Lead. I'll turn her into a proper 11. You know.
Proper 11.
Jay's question might have been like, "How will you be an awful person when you go back in time and influence these people?"
Damn, and here I am. You know, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go.
who do you got?
Mine was actually kind of basic, I guess. You know, I don't know. There's two characters I'm kind of debating between, but I think, you know, one of them, like, a bit of the whole point of the show is to go back in time and stop them from being fucked up. So I guess I'll kind of avoid that. I was gonna say Mikey from Tokyo Revengers
That's
and
a
just
good one.
stop him, but again, that's like the whole point of the series. So I'll just let them handle it. I think I'm gonna take a pretty basic answer, and I'm gonna go back in time to like Viking era, you know, Sweden and shit. And I'm gonna basically meet Thorfinn right after the end of season 1 of Vinland Saga and prevent him from going to jail and becoming a fucking slave. But even though that does hamper a lot of his character growth because of the arc that comes after that, I guess. Honestly, it's a flawed question because the problematic characters are cool because they're fucked up. I do agree with that, but at the same time, we got some good answers out of it.
Yeah. And we are
So yeah, I think I'll probably go with Thor.
awesome. And we're at 8 minutes, so that ends that question. And I am up next. Okay, here we go. With the now finished reboot of Fruits Basket and the upcoming Trigun and Kenshin series, which anime would you like to see get this treatment and why?
Kenshin.
Something other than Kenshin.
I know. That was the joke. Which one would I want to see rebooted? Like
in its entirety.
in its entirety. That would be like, would I want to watch Gurren Lagann again? Like, I think it's almost perfect as it is, but like, would I want to watch another adaptation of it? I feel like that would be fun. I think. Did they ever finish Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah. It has a
Hmm.
different ending than the manga, but it's arguably better than the ending
Okay,
of the
well
manga, even
then-
though it's so bad.
But I won't reboot that then. Because like that's another one that, and like Inuyasha already got a reboot too. I remember watching that when I was younger. Like as a kid, I'd watch some of that. Maybe Cowboy Bebop's actually probably the answer here. I want more of the story. I think like the ending to it is fantastic, and
There's a live action version.
yeah, the live action. Yeah, that's totally what I should watch. But yeah, no, I'd like a full retelling of that story, but then continuing ideally too, like giving us more. I think that could do really well.
Yeah. So mine would be. I need to look something up real quick. Give me half a second. Do sort by rating. Okay. So the Human Echo When They Cry anime has a
Really?
generous 7.06 on Mal. The Human Echo visual novel is the fourth highest rated visual novel of all time, with an 8.92 on VNDB, which is admittedly an insanely degenerate website. But regardless,
Yeah, a little bit.
Who would have thunk it?
the stuff at the top is mostly accurate, so it's fine. That would be my pick. The anime adaptation is freaking terrible, and it needs some budget. It needs them to realize that you can there are ways to do an anime, but keep textual stuff going. Like you can do it. It's hard to do. They need to realize you shouldn't cut out. Yeah, it's long. And maybe it's not for everyone because there's a whole lot of exposition and stuff, but the people who liked it because of that. So if you cut out the parts people like, then you just have something that no one likes. So yeah, Human Echo would be my very easy answer because it's my favorite thing ever, and the anime is bad.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thinking back to now, High School of the Dead I think would be really fun to see get a full reboot. Although the problem is, well, for one, the original's not that bad. By that I mean I love it. I think the original's great. But it also, the author unfortunately passed away, and they didn't get much further than where the anime ended. There's probably enough for a half a season more, and it's never been continued or picked up by the author's brother, who I believe was the artist. It's never been finished. So if the adaptation would then include someone picking up the story, then I think High School of the Dead would be my answer because it was a really cool zombie show. Sorry, didn't mean to take your time, but Jay.
Okay.
Say Berserk so Pete doesn't have an answer.
Yeah.
Nah.
Berserk's not my Berserk's not my answer.
My answer
Ooh.
is going to be something I don't think any of you have ever even watched, but is super fucking good and an iconic old anime. I'm gonna go with Slayers. Slayers is basically a really cool sort of D&D type world. It's a comedy it's pretty much not Isekai Konosuba before Konosuba. And I think if you gave it some good Sakuga and stuff like that and fleshed out the rest of the cast and kind of let them do stuff in the sequel part of it, because it basically becomes the Lena and Friends show past a certain point. I think that it would look really sick because the animation for the time is really good. and if you updated the art style a bit more to modern era and had like a really good budget, I think it would look awesome.
For me, it's between two shows. One is the show I want the most, like season 2 win type of thing, which is Grimgar. But I'm not going to go with Grimgar. I'm going to go with a show where I thought at one point could be my favorite anime of all time and then absolutely collapsed, and that's Wonder Egg Priority. I think the themes that they were presented in Wonder Egg were just fantastic, and how they visualized it was honestly like next level shit, and then they just ruined it with episode 13. So for me, I'm gonna go with Wonder Egg. Pat, you are up next with the last question of the day.
Alrighty. So this one related a little bit to my work, as I like to do around here. You get to bring one anime character or cast into the real world to become a YouTuber or a content creator. Who are they, and what do they do for content? So, are they a YouTuber, a Twitch streamer, an Instagram model, something like that, and or whatever they could be. Like there's a lot of fun answers. I think.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans. Yeah, with Rihanna Gremery.
Masato, Twitch hot tub.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so Miles, go ahead. Is that your answer? There you go.
No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Seto Kaiba, Twitch hot tub. So
you'd be a Twitch streamer for like chess or something instead. Well, I guess you could play Yu-Gi-Oh.
he
too,
could play
yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Dude,
No,
yeah.
that
He
is
would-
that is 100% my
He would
decision.
get banned for telling somebody to commit unalive.
Yeah.
He would 100% get banned for that.
Yeah, but he would get unbanned from Twitter in like a week.
Also,
so
I could see him on like. Has somebody not done fan art of Seto Kaiba on the PewDiePie bridge? Because I feel like he could get caught like that.
I think that's unfair to Seto.
I think it's completely fair. I've seen people draw Asuka with it. Seto Kaiba can get on there.
No, Asuka's way more of a gamer than Seto Kaiba is.
Seto Kaiba is the gamer of gamers, bro.
Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna bring Seto Kaiba in because I need that kind of energy in my life from like professional card players who I watch a lot of like streams and stuff. Like basically, oh God, it's tough for me because I know if I bring him in, he'll actually just be LSV, who is a professional Magic player, and then like my day will be ruined. But I'm willing to take the risk to try to get the perfect form of LSV, which I think is Seto Kaiba. So
Seto Kaiba wouldn't abandon his wife and child, but let's not talk.
Would he ever get a wife and child?
He's not. Seto Kaiba's married to the game.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
the only person Seto Kaiba wants to bang is the Pharaoh. He literally built a fucking machine to go to the afterlife to see that motherfucker.
Yep.
Like,
oh, that movie's so good.
Yeah.
It's. Oh yes, I'm picking Seto Kaiba.
love it.
This is a tough fucking question.
So many good answers. I think it's tough because there's so many fun answers that you could have, I think. And like so many different things you could do with the cast. Like the cast of One Piece alone. Imagine like bringing like any assortment of them in and like turning them into like, I don't know, circus acts or anything. Like that's clickbait content right there.
Oh, you know what? Can I bring a pair in since they're like partners?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a cast. It can be a group.
Okay. Okay, then I'm bringing the 3 from Golden Kamuy in to run like a hunting YouTube channel and Twitch stream.
I love that. Yeah, see, I think that's like
cooking. Like they could do one of those like big knife ASMR cooking things.
Do a mukbang with like old Hokkaido food.
Yeah, I think that would be sick.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I say cast. That's why I say cast because like sometimes the joke too, like well, and also YouTube channels all the time are like multiple people, like reacting to something or working together. So I think that's where, as long as the content is based on them together,
watching them react to eating like hot Cheetos would be fucking amazing. Like
the hot ones with special guests, the immortal Sugimoto and
yeah. Like, have you ever seen those videos where like they get like the Afghani tribesmen to eat like the spicy ramen bowls and stuff like that? Like that would be awesome to watch the Golden Kamuy cast do stuff like that.
Yeah, because you're bringing them like 100 years into the future too. Now that I think about it, that's true.
Yeah.
That would be really fun. All right, Pete, what about you?
For me, meme answer, Reagan Aratarka would be a crypto scammer for sure. Some form of crypto influencer.
LSP without
No, fake psychics are a big thing now, though, too. Like they're coming back. I could totally just see him doing that thing.
I mean, he just like leave one thing and go to the nether when like the steam
You're
runs
right.
out.
You're right.
But I
You're
feel like
right.
during the height of like the crypto boom, he would for sure be like a crypto scammer of some sort. Real answer, I think she has the personality, the attractiveness, and she loves games, and I think she could just stream Tabletop Simulator on Twitch. I'm gonna go with Chika Fujiwara from Love Is War.
good choice.
Yeah, I think.
Bringing in the whole student council could be fun too.
It would
having
be,
them
but
do
like I
things.
was trying to think of like a platform that they would like work on, and I couldn't think of like a group thing. But
Yeah.
Chika loves games, and I feel like she could just play Tabletop Simulator on Twitch, and she'd just be like the #1 Tabletop Simulator person. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chika.
Solid choice. I like that. I think my answer wins though, because I just thought of it on. It's why I thought of this question. It's why I thought of this question. I would just take the entire cast of Zombieland Saga and open up my own VTuber slash
Hololive.
whatever Hololive, like basically Hololive, except with them, and then we'd become an empire and dominate the world. and
Wouldn't you go to
talk to
war with
aliens.
yourself?
So they would get immediately
Oh, yeah,
destroyed.
Pat.
No, you make profit off of it though.
Yeah, but you went to
that's how-
war
that's
with
how-
Love Live.
Yeah, I know that's idol culture. That's different.
And also they would just get destroyed by
VTubers,
the
they're
government
different.
for being zombies.
Yeah, that's true. But also, again, like one of the best ways to make profits is off of war. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's big
Damn,
brain.
you
right
Oh, that's
there.
a good point.
By
Yeah.
the way, Miles, if you want to get even more profit, you could have chosen Yumiko from fucking Kakaguri instead of Seto Kaiba, and she would have gotten those e-girl dollars while doing the card game thing.
Yeah, but I'm like, and while I'm not, I don't know, the Yumiko I based an entire D&D character off of a Yumiko scene. So I am a Yumiko fan. I'm way more into Seto Kaiba.
Yeah, we can tell.
so I have a
Fair.
Seto Kaiba pop figure somewhere. So
I think there's a lot of good answers though, because a lot of personalities that stand out in people like in anime are personalities that stand out in like VTuber culture or stand out in whatever sort of popular online reactions and stuff. So
Mhm.
Chisato as a gun girl YouTuber would make so much fucking ad revenue. Fuck.
yeah, you'd be raking in the dollars with her. So many live streams too. Can you like certain characters just talking and rambling, and like you said, the PewDiePie gamer moment would happen with a lot, and not a lot of the characters, but like moments like that would happen a lot, I'm sure, which would be really fun.
For sure. Okay, well, that's the end of our 8 questions. Listeners out there, how did we do? Let us know your answers to these questions, whether it's in the YouTube comments or our Discord. All of that will be in the links below. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. If you want to support us, the best way to do so, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on whatever platform you're watching or listening to us on. And if you like seeing our faces, you can see us next week for a Halloween episode of Mirko-chan. Ooh, big spooky during Halloween. We will be dressing up. So thank you so much, and we will see you next time.